a friend of mine went to the Philippines recently, and he went to this school that has a building with my friends, their family's name is on it. I said, hey, did you go into this hall named after this family? And he thought about it. He's like, yeah, I think is that the big building? I said, yeah. And he said, oh, I think I went in there. I was like, hey, I know the people that building is named after. And he looked at me and he was like, cool story, bro. I was thinking, hey, no, this is a really big deal. And, it got me thinking about how when something's there, you just take it for granted. When something wasn't there and then it's there, you don't take it for granted. You go, hey, this didn't used to be here and now it is. But people, oftentimes we walk into buildings, we don't realize somebody built that building and we take it for granted. I think that's what King Solomon is talking about in this book of perspective, Ecclesiastes 2:18-21. He gets really negative sounding. He says, I hated all my toil in which I toil under the sun, seeing that I must leave it to the man who will come after me. And who knows whether he will be wise or a fool. He may go squander, ruin everything I've made, or just take it for granted. Yet he will be master of all for which I toiled and used my wisdom under the sun. This also is vanity or meaninglessness. So I turned about and gave my heart up to despair over all the toil of my labors under the sun. Because sometimes a person who has toiled with wisdom and knowledge and skill must leave everything to be enjoyed by someone who did not work for it. This also is vanity and great evil. I think about how many people are trying to focus on, I want to leave this legacy behind me. But the reality is, when we build something, there's a very good chance that the people that come after us are going to completely forget who built it, even if your name is on it. And they're going to just move on and they're going to, let's take it for granted. And the worst part is, oftentimes when they take it for granted, they don't have any gratitude for it. If you look at our world today, how many people are out protesting, saying, oh, the injustices in the world. Yeah, look, there's still some injustice in the world, but man, we should have a whole lot of gratitude at what we even have. I just think about how many sicknesses and diseases that used to ravage the world have been overcome because of the people who came before us and paid sacrifices, how much peace and freedom we live in right now because of sacrifices of people. Peace and freedom are not the default for the world. Tyranny is. But how much peace and freedom we benefit from that allows us to go protest in the streets. But there's no sense of gratitude because we go, we're owed that because we grew up with it. We didn't grow up not having it. So this idea that we're going to leave a legacy is just, the reality is you're probably going to hand it off to somebody that just takes for granted what you made. So you go, well, that's a depressing thought. Well, that's exactly what King Solomon said. It's a depressing thought. So what do you do about it? Well, I'm convinced there's inherent value in working to make a better world right today, just focusing on today. In fact, I'm actually convinced that the people who truly did leave a legacy, that we look back and go, wow, they really made a dent in the world. They weren't focused on leaving a legacy. They were focused on improving what was right in front of them for its own value. I think that's what Jesus was talking about when he said, so don't worry about tomorrow, for today has enough worry of its own. If we're focused on, man, what's this going to look like in the end? Was my legacy, am I going to be remembered? A very good chance you're not going to be remembered. But those who are remembered were those who are focused on saying, I'm going to take what I've got right in front of me, I'm going to focus on it, and I'm going to do the best I can to make it better right now. And I think that's what we're called to do every day. Live in these day-tight compartments where if anything good comes of this tomorrow, that's great. I'm going to make sure there's good that comes of it today, and I'm going to stay focused on that with my family, in my job, what I'm called to do. That is the wisdom of King Solomon. It's reality. It's looking at things for what they are. You're probably not going to leave a legacy, and you're probably going to leave things to people that they don't even appreciate and maybe squander. But that's okay. Living for today has its own inherent value. Ecclesiastes has so much wisdom. I'm sharing every day this month on the weekdays from it. Share, add me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You guys have a great day.